G'day all, Noob1972 here. Welcome to yet another History of the World, episode 5. In this episode, we're going to be looking at the Proterozoic Eon of Earth's history. The Proterozoic Eon is one of the four major divisions of Earth's geological timescale, encompassing a vast period of time from about 2.5 billion years ago to approximately 541 million years ago. It is the eon that precedes the Phanerozoic era, or eon, which is the current eon and spans from 541 million years ago to the present day. The Proterozoic Eon is a crucial and complex period in Earth's history, marked by significant geological, biological, and environmental changes. Subdivisions of the Proterozoic Eon. The Proterozoic Eon is divided into three major subdivisions, each with its own distinctive geological and biological characteristics. The Paleoproterozoic, approximately 2.5 billion to 1.6 billion years ago, this early part of the Proterozoic saw the formation of stable continents, the emergence of oxygen-producing photosynthetic organisms such as cyanobacteria, and the development of eukaryotic cells. The supercontinent, Columbia, also known as Nuna, existed during this time. The Mesoproterozoic, 1.6 billion to 1 billion years ago, the Mesoproterozoic was marked by the formation of the supercontinent Rodinia and a diversification of eukaryotic life. Fossils from this period include early multicellular organisms like algae and simple animals. Atmospheric oxygen levels continue to rise. The Neoproterozoic, 1 million years to 541 million years ago. This final subdivision of the Proterozoic is known for several key events, including the formation of the supercontinent Pannotia, a series of ice ages, the snowball Earth events, and the emergence of complex multicellular life forms, including the Ediacaran biosphere. The Neoproterozoic also witnessed the transition from unicellular to multicellular organisms, eventually leading to the Cambrian explosion and the beginning of the Phanerozoic Eon. Geological events. During the Proterozoic Eon, continents continued to grow through processes like continental accretion. This involved the addition of land masses to existing continents through tectonic collisions and the accretion of island arcs and microcontinents. The Proterozoic witnessed the formation and breakup of several supercontinents. One of the most significant was Rodinia, which formed around 1.3 billion years ago through the aggregation of smaller land masses. Rodinia's assembly and eventual breakup around 750 years ago had a profound impact on Earth's geology and climate. After the breakup of Rodinia, another supercontinent, Pannotia, began to form around 600 million years ago. It comprised many of the land masses that would later become part of the modern continents. Pannonia's breakup marked the end of the Proterozoic Eon and the transition to the Phanerozoic. In North America, the Grenville orogeny was a major tectonic event during the Proterozoic, occurring between approximately 1.3 to 980 million years ago. It resulted in the formation of the Grenville Mountains, which stretched from present-day Mexico to Greenland. These mountains have since eroded, leaving behind the Appalachian Mountains in eastern North America. In Africa, the Pan-African orogeny was a series of tectonic events that occurred from around 1.3 million years to billion to 600 million years ago. It led to the formation of mountain ranges and highlands across the African continent. These tectonic activities were part of the assembly of the supercontinent Pannotia. The Proterozoic Eon is notable for episodes of extreme glaciation, sometimes referred to as the snowball Earth hypothesis. During these periods, the Earth's surface was believed to have been covered, nearly or completely covered in ice, dramatically altering the planet's climate. The exact causes and mechanisms behind these glaciations are still debated among scientists, but they likely had significant consequences on the evolution of life. Geological evidence, such as glacial deposits and glacially striated bedrock, supports the existence of these glaciations. I'm sorry for stumbling over those words, guys. Some of the most prominent snowball of Earth events occurred during the cryogenian period, approximately 720 to 635 million years ago. The interactions between tectonic events, continental positions, and environmental changes were complex during the Proterozoic. Mountain building, continental collisions, and the assembly of supercontinents influenced ocean circulation patterns, atmospheric composition, and the distribution of land and sea. Changes in sea level and the distribution of shallow seas played a role in the formation of sedimentary basins and the preservation of fossils, providing valuable insights into Earth's history during this eon. Biological evolution. The Proterozoic witnessed the emergence and diversification of eukaryotic cells. Eukaryotes are characterized by having a true nucleus and membrane bound organelles, such as mitochondria and endoplasmic reticulum. The exact timing and mechanism of eukaryogenesis remain topics of ongoing research and debate. One prominent theory, called the endosymbiotic theory, proposes that eukaryotic organelles like mitochondria and chloroplasts originated from symbiotic relationships between ancestral prokaryotic cells. Cyanobacteria or blue-green algae played a pivotal role in the Proterozoic in oxygenating Earth's atmosphere through photosynthesis. This These photosynthetic microorganisms are among the first to evolved the ability to produce oxygen as a byproduct of photosynthesis. The rise of oxygen during the Proterozoic, often referred to as the Great Oxygen Event, dramatically altered Earth's environment. It led to the development of oxygen-rich atmosphere, which was a key factor in the evolution of aerobic respiration and the survival of organisms that required oxygen to thrive. During the Proterozoic eon, the fossil record shows the emergence and proliferation of multicellular life forms, marking a significant step in biological evolution. Fossils from the Proterozoic, such as the Ediacaran Biotia, provide evidence of early multicellular organisms. These organisms had simple body plans and are often difficult to classify into modern taxa. The Adio Ediacaran period, which spans the latter part of the Proterozoic, approximately 635 to 541 million years ago, is also known for the Ediacaran Biotia. I don't know why I keep on stumbling over this word. I'm so sorry, guys. These organisms included a diverse array of soft-bodied, often frond-like or disc-shaped organisms. The nature of these organisms and their relationships to modern life forms remain topics of study and debate. Some of them may represent early animals, while others might belong to extinct branches of life. The increase in atmospheric oxygen levels during the Proterozoic Eon influenced the evolution of life. Oxygenation allowed for the development of more energy efficient metabolic processes, which paved the way for the evolution of larger and more complex organisms that we'll see in the Cambrian period. The emergence of multicellular life forms likely led to increased ecological complexity and competition for resources, driving further evolutionary innovations. Symbiotic relationships between different organisms likely played a crucial role in Proterozoic biological evolution. For example, endosymbiosis, where one organism lives inside another, might have contributed to the development of eukaryotic cells. These symbiotic interactions laid the groundwork for the evolution of more complex life forms in later eons. Environmental changes. One of the most significant environmental changes during the Proterozoic eon was the Great Oxygenation Event, which began around 2.4 billion years ago and continued for several hundred million years. During this event, the accumulation of oxygen in the atmosphere fundamentally altered the composition of Earth's air. The, the increase in atmospheric oxygen had profound consequences for life, as we've discussed earlier. While oxygen was toxic to many I'll get this right, anaerobic organisms, it paved the way for the evolution of aerobic respiration and more complex life forms that could harness oxygen for energy. The Proterozoic was punctuated by a series of extreme glaciations, sometimes referred to as snowball Earth events. During these periods, it is believed that the planet's surface was almost entirely covered in ice, even at low latitudes. The exact causes of these glaciations are still a subject of debate among scientists. Some proposed mechanisms include changes in greenhouse gas levels, volcanic activity, and continental configurations. These glaciations had far reaching consequences for the climate, ocean circulation, and the evolution of life. Geochemical evidence, such as carbon isotope ratios in ancient rocks, provides insights into carbon cycling during the Proterozoic. Variations in carbon isotope suggests fluctuations in the global carbon cycle, which likely influence climate dynamics. The Proterozoic witnessed both greenhouse and icehouse conditions, with periods of extreme cold during glaciations and warmer interglacial periods. These climate fluctuations had implications for sea levels, continental positions, and the distribution of life. The Proterozoic eon saw the gradual segregation of aggregation of continental land masses into larger units, leading to the formation of supercontinents like Rodinia and later Pannotia, which we discussed earlier. The interactions between continents and ocean basins influenced ocean circulation patterns and climate. Intense tectonic activity, including continental collisions and mountain building events, shaped the topography of Earth during the Proterozoic. These tectonic processes influenced the distribution of land and sea, which in turn had climatic and environmental repercussions. The Proterozoic is known for the deposition of extensive iron formations in the world's oceans. These iron-rich sedimentary rocks provided a record of ocean chemistry and the prevalence of iron-oxidizing bacteria during this eon. Changes in the redox conditions of oceans and the availability of nutrients and trace metals influence the evolution of marine life. The Proterozoic witnessed the diversification of marine ecosystems, including the appearance of more complex plank, planktonic and benthic organisms. Towards the end of the Proterozoic eon, during the Ediacaran period, as we've said, approximately 635 to 541 million years ago, the fossil records reveal the presence of the Ediacaran biotia. These soft bodied, often enigmatic organisms inhabited seafloors and shallow marine environments, contributing to the diversity of life on Earth. Plate tectonics and supercontinents. One of the earliest proposed supercontinents during the Proterozoic Eon is Valbara. It is believed to have existed around 3.6 to 2.7 billion years ago during the early Proterozoic. Valbara was a hypothetical landmass that could have comprised parts of present-day Australia, India, Antarctica, and South Africa. Evidence for its existence is based on geological and paleomagnetic data. Canorland is another proposed supercontinent that may have existed during the early Proterozoic, around 2.7 to 2.1 billion years ago. It is suggested to encompass regions that are now part of North America, Western Australia, and possibly parts of other continents. Geological evidence supports the idea of Kenorland. Colombia, also known as Nuna, was a significant Proterozoic supercontinent that formed around 1.8 billion years ago. It incorporated a large portion of Earth's landmass. Colombia played a pivotal role in the amalgamation of supercontinents during the Proterozoic. It contributed to the assembly of Rodinia and influenced the geological evolution of the planet. Rodinia formed approximately 1.3 billion years ago during the mid-Proterozoic, is one of the most well-known and extensively studied Proterozoic supercontinents. It is thought to have included parts of modern-day North America, South America, Baltica or Northern Europe, Siberia, and other landmasses. Its assembly and subsequent breakup have profound geological and climatic effects. The Grenville orogeny, which occurred during the late Proterozoic to early Phanerozoic, was associated with the breakup of Rodinia. It led to the formation of the Grenville Mountains in North America. The collision and subsequent rifting of continents played a role in fragmenting Rodinia into smaller landmasses that would lately contribute to the assembly of Pannotia. Pannotia, another Proterozoic subcontinent, began to form around 600 million years ago. It included landmasses from the previous supercontinent cycles, such as Rodinia and others. The assembly of Pannotia marked the end of the Proterozoic Eon and the transition to the Phanerozoic. Its breakup contributed to the opening of the Laplace Ocean and influenced the distribution of continents during the early Paleozoic. The Proterozoic Eon played a crucial role in the development of modern plate tectonics. While the mechanisms of plate tectonics during this era or eon may not have been identical to those of today, there is geological evidence indicating that plate-like movements of the Earth's lithosphere were occurring. The formation and breakup of supercontinents, along with subduction and continental collision events, were precursors to the plate tectonic processes we observe today. The Proterozoic witnessed the formation and evolution of ocean basins, including the growth of continental margins and the development of mid-ocean ranges and subduction zones. The Wilson cycle, a concept describing the cyclical opening and closing of ocean basins, was influenced by the Proterozoic tectonic processes. The end of the Proterozoic Eon. The end of the Proterozoic Eon marks a significant transition in Earth's geological and biological history, leading to the dawn of the Phanerozoic Eon. This transition was characterized by several important events and developments. The final part of the Proterozoic Eon is known as the Ediacaran period. It is named after the Ediacara Hills in South Australia, where some of the most well-known fossils from this period were first discovered. The Ediacaran period is particularly known for the existence of Ediacaran biota, a diverse assemblage of soft-bodied, often enigmatic organisms. These organisms lived in various marine environments and often included frond-like dish-shaped and segmatic forms. The Ediacaran biota represents some of the earliest complex multicellular life forms on Earth. However, their relationship to modern taxa remain a subject of scientific debate. During the Ediacaran period, Earth's climate and environment underwent significant changes. While the planet was generally warmer than during the preceding snowball events of the Proterozoic, it still experienced fluctuations in temperature and sea level. The presence of shallow marine environments and the widespread continental shelves during this period provided habitats for the Ediacaran biota. The oxygenation of Earth's atmosphere, which began during the Proterozoic Eon, continued into the Ediacaran period. Oxygen levels continued to rise, making the environment more hospitable for aerobic organisms. Changes in ocean chemistry, including variations in the availability of nutrients and trace metals, influenced the evolution and diversification of marine life. The end of the Ediacaran period marked the boundary between the Proterozoic and the Phanerozoic eons. This boundary is known as the Ediacaran Cambrian boundary. The Cambrian period, which immediately followed the Ediacaran, is famous for the Cambrian explosion, a rapid diversification of life forms, particularly those with hard shells and skeletons. This event marks the beginning of the Phanerozoic and the Paleozoic era. The appearance of Ediacaran biota represents a crucial step in the evolution of life on Earth. Although these organisms were unlike many modern forms, they were the precursors to a more complex life that would emerge during the Cambrian explosion and subsequent periods. The rise of more complex organisms during the Ediacaran and Cambrian periods signaled the development of sophisticated body plans, predatory prey interactions, and ecological relationships that laid the foundations for modern ecosystems. Well, guys, that is the Proterozoic Eon. I hope you enjoyed the episode as much as I did researching it. Let me know what you think in the comments, either on YouTube or on Spotify or on any of the other platforms. I have managed to get it onto some of the other platforms. So I think I've got it on Apple. I've got it on Google Cast, iHeartRadio, Castbox, um, Amazon. So check it out if you're watching this on YouTube and you want to listen to it on as a podcast and you don't generally listen to it on Spotify. Check out one of the others. Um, Also, if you are watching this on YouTube, I would really love it if you could leave a like, a comment, even on Spotify. A comment would be great. Let me know what you think of it. Um, in the near future, I'm actually looking at making an episode on the dinosaurs. At the moment, I'm thinking of Tyrannosaurus Rex, Brontosaurus, Triceratops, and Pterodactyls. So, if you want me to talk about any other dinosaurs, leave a comment below. I think that will probably be around episode 10 or 11. It just depends on when I get to the Jurassic and Cretaceous periods. And that's when I'm going to do the dinosaur episode. But let me know if you've got a specific dinosaur that you'd like me to discuss, and I'll make sure I get it in there. So just leave that comment in YouTube or in the comments in YouTube or on Spotify. Anyway, I've taken up so much of your time. Um, I'm New Miner 72. Wherever you are in the world, have a wonderful day. See you later and take care. Bye for now.